What's up, Couyons? Tonight, we're going to check out one of the sweeter, more fruitier side of the scotch. I'm going to rotate over to Speyside, Scotland, and check out one of Billy Walker's current distilleries, Glenallachie. What's up, Couyons? Got a good one tonight. Glenallachie 12 year. So this little bottle here, Billy Walker, right? His little story is in 1972, he started his little whiskey journey at Ballantine's, which is a well-known blended Scotch company. Back 1980s, he moves on over and rejuvenates these three distilleries: Deanston, Tobermory, and Glenallachie distillery, which was pretty much mothballed when he got there. Rejuvenated them, turning them into the giant, they are today. And Deanston's, that's one of my favorite whiskeys. It's great stuff. Non-chill filtered, natural color like whiskey should be. He now moved on over and he's the owner and master distiller at Glenallachie. So Glenallachie, great stuff. Got a color on that. If it wasn't in this bottle, you wouldn't even better tell if it was a bourbon or a scotch. That's how dark this stuff is. Natural color, by the way. So that's a little story with Billy Walker, and he came to own. He's part owner and operator and master distiller at Glenallachie. So looking at the whiskey, I mean, look at the color of that. Every whiskey he's ever come to make is unchill filtered natural color. So dark stuff. Definitely sherry. I mean, that's where it's getting this dark color from. On the nose. Whew. Man, lots of wild berries. So berries, dark fruit. First thing I could think of is berries. Blackberry, strawberry, a little fig in there. Also got some like a cream note to it. Maybe a vanilla cream. There's some spices in the background, but it's way in the background. You just get a little hit of spice on the nose. Not much challenging. It's pretty easy. I mean, nothing challenging. There's no alcohol, ethanol that gets there at all. It's a unchallenging nose on that. Let's take a little sip. Man, fruits pop. Raspberry, blackberry, almost like berries and cream right off top. The spices come in later, so typical barrel spices, almost like holiday spices in there. You get it's definitely some cinnamon. Whatever you would think about holiday spices, cinnamon, your nutmeg, and stuff like that. And the finish is pretty good. I mean, it's got a lot of complexity to this, though. Let's get some more. Definitely. I mean, the fruits pop in this one more than most whiskeys, but that sherry taste in there is bringing all of the berries in there. Berries, like I said, strawberries, a little ginger in there with the spice. After the fruit notes and the cream, you get the spices come in: ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon. It's just a great whiskey. Good complexity in there. The oak's finishing at the end. The oak comes in at the end, but it's not a big player in this, in the grand scheme of the flavor and stuff like that. The oak comes in at the end with the spice, and I think that's what's bringing all of the spices, right? Is the barrel wood. But it's coming at the end, and it's hanging along in the finish. Very complex whiskey, but it hangs along in the finish and kind of adds to the orchestral flavors in it. But man, that's good stuff with the fruits right off the top. man. So in second sip, more vanilla on it now. So the creamy note, I would think of it like a vanilla cream. And that mixed with the berry, God, it's on point. On fucking point. So mixed with the berries with it, it pops. You know what I mean? Berries and cream kind of flavor, fig notes, what you would get from a typical sherry finish space side whiskey. A lot of fruit. It's good. There's a honeyness in there too. It's sweet, so it's very sweet whiskey on the sweeter side. So if you were into more of a what you would say like a coastal, maybe a Campbelltown or an Isla, this is miles from it. I think that's the difference between what you would get in a Scotch variation in flavor compared to bourbon. Like this is as far away from Isla Scotch as it is bourbon. Honestly, it's crazy. Very elegant freaking nose, elegant taste to it. Just easy sipping. It's not challenging. That's the only problem. Like this would fit a mood. So you want to lay back. You don't want a challenging whiskey. You want something sweeter. You're looking for some fruits and just complexity. It's nice. Now, if you're looking for a challenge, you want some smoke in there. You want some coastal hit of some smoke and some ash, seared meat. You're not gonna get it with this, but it's really good stuff. Man, that's some good stuff. See, I got more oak on the end of that one. Oak and the spice play well at the end. That's good stuff though. This one coming in at 46, so 46%. Like I said before, non-show filtered natural color, which is crazy. Like the color on that being natural color, like that's got some color to it. Glenallachie, Valley of the Rocks, they call it. And on the back, they talk a little bit about Billy Walker, his process, slow fermentation, precise distillation, long maturation. 12 years is right around what you would get middle road of Scotch. I think most of my Scotches are 12 years. I think I have more 12-year Scotch than anything. The youngest, I've got some no age statement stuff, but 10-year Scotch is good. The younger you get, the more malty of a taste you get. I don't get really a whole lot of malt with this. Sometimes at 12 years, they do have a lot of malt in them, but I don't get a whole lot of malty taste, but I think it's probably masked by the fairly fresh sherry cask with this. I'd be surprised if they still had sherry in those casks whenever they added this whiskey to it. It's so dark. It's a huge, pungent sherry flavor in this. Great stuff, though. I do have a 10-year cask strength of this, which we'll do a review on that shortly, too. I think this is it's a good proof on it, 92 proof. Could it be like if the 12-year was at a cask strength, if it would be higher than 92? If this came in at 100 proof, God, this would be so good. Way better. But it's good at 92. I think they do a good job of blending the alcohol proof with the flavors. I'm a proof hound, though. I say it would be better at 100 proof, but with that being said, would it hide a lot of the sherry notes, or would you get more of an alcohol burn? Because with this, being at 92 proof, none whatsoever. Like, no alcohol presence. It's just fruit. You get all that vanilla cream. You get that sweet. You get sweet notes. I don't know if this is completely aged in sherry for 12 years or if this is partly bourbon cask. Because you do get like a vanilla cream, which would come off as a typical Scotch that was aged in bourbon and then maybe put into sherry. I'm not sure. But it doesn't really specify on the bottle. But this is good stuff. But yeah, that's about it. Some good old Glenallachie scotch. Pretty precise, concise Glenallachie review right there. That the complexity does roll on this one though. But in a nutshell, lots of different dark fruits. That vanilla note with some barrel spices and that oak hit on the end. It's a good whiskey. But that's about it on a review for that, guys. Whiskey Couyons. There's more reviews to come out there, so like us on YouTube, and if you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button, guys. Man, shit, why y'all didn't remind me? I didn't do a score on this. So Glenallachie 12, coming in price wise, 65 to 70, 65 to 67. Well, you could say 65 to 70 on the price range, which is not a bad for a 12-year scotch. We'll go ahead and give it a 7.75 out of 10. It's definitely in the buy again category. It takes a hit on the finish. It's not a super long finish on it, but it's a 12-year scotch, so you get what you get. But it's got a lot of complexity, so it definitely puts it in 7.75. Doesn't really go into the 8 category, but leading up to the finish, it has great complexity, a lot of flavors, but it just doesn't have the finish that I think it would have if it was maybe a little older, maybe a little bit higher proof. We'll see. But that's it, guys.